Hello and welcome to
Nope,
Masquerade
that's
Breach, Season 3, Episode 10, Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. My name is Blazewing,
I am Oceanus Veritas.
and today there's just two of us. The other two could not unfortunately be here today. Yeah, hope everything's okay. We hope they're not dead. You know, we have our little in memoriams up just in case, but it is what it is. We had a bit of a time with this movie. Some of us liked it, some of us did not. Unfortunately, the dissenting opinions are not here today. Um, so yeah, we put off enough of these episodes already as is, which is kind of why I wanted to dig into this today and go ahead no matter who was here. Ocean, what did you think?
Well, this was a movie. It had explosions, it had vampires, it had Abraham Lincoln. uh, what did I think of this movie, though?
Now, what were your honest opinions? I want honest critique, like your actual opinion, not just what you think I want to hear.
I wanted to like this movie.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I'm coming up with. Is I wish that I could like this movie. This movie had some great potential. Was it going to be lore friendly? Absolutely not. I think we all understood that it was going to be not lore friendly. Um, it had some basis in, I guess, a little bit, but more and more I looked into this. The redeeming qualities of this movie are the action scenes, and that's about it. I think it could have been anybody. It didn't have to be a president. It could have very well been Joe Schmo from across the way that didn't get into politics and didn't get into the actual Civil War, especially Gettysburg and all that. It really, really kind of rubbed me the wrong way that it did go that way. And I was looking more for the dialogue and trying to really sink my teeth into this movie, but I couldn't immerse myself very well. The good parts are is that there's plenty of explosions, there's plenty of attacks, there's a ton of things. There are some great actors and actresses in this movie, but this is not the thing that is their magnum opus by any means.
For me, this was a movie. Not my favorite, not my most hated. I do agree that they could have put literally anybody in the role and it would have had exactly the same story potentially. They could have put Buffy Summers, like maybe an ancestor or something like that, or even another like Slayer into this role from the Buffy universe. You would have had exactly the same story,
Yep,
effectively.
it's very cookie cutter.
The fact that Abraham
Very.
Lincoln was there had absolutely no bearing on the movie whatsoever. Um it's like that line from the Big Bang Theory. Indiana Jones had absolutely no impact on the outcome of the movie whatsoever because if he hadn't have been in the movie, they would have got the Ark of Truth. They would have opened it and they would have all died.
Yep.
Like exact same thing here. Um, I was here for the action scenes. The action scenes I think were, I mean, the graphics were cheesy, but the action scenes were somewhat well done. Um, it shat all over history.
It did.
Absolutely, it
Just
ripped it apart. It is historical fiction, and somebody took liberty with imagination, and for that, I mean, you have to applaud the creativity. Like they definitely tried to be creative with this movie. It just didn't work.
it does not work. It's a non-functional standalone that crumbles at its own foundations. Unfortunately, when it
Histor-
comes to
Historical
when
fan
it,
fiction.
yeah, unfortunately, it felt it felt like the writers didn't put their effort into it. It felt like make a movie. Okay, here's what we got.
There,
With the sideline of like make this a vampire movie, but what would make it different? And someone in the back said, "Oh, I know, make it a presidential. What about the Civil War?" Ta-da! And they meshed it, and they didn't mesh it well. They just smashed it together, and essentially the paint went everywhere. And that's essentially what we got. A, a thin plot to an even thinner setting. I think the setting is about the only thing good that was in here. They were at least making the production and the costuming effectively the Civil War era. But that's about it. The rest of it just felt like it could have been anywhere in time. It could have been the 18th century for all we know, or the 17th century. It could have been BCE Greece at this point. With as much war and all that, they could have done it with that, and it would have probably been a better movie, personally. But like, I mean, who wouldn't like, Marcus Aurelius the second going, "I'm a vampire." I mean, it's along those same lines. It just, unless you put substance, especially with history, if you don't stick to the core of the history that you're working with, it makes zero sense and it falls flat. And that's exactly what it felt like. It
couple of
fell flat.
couple of comments from the audience. They didn't stay true to vampire lore or Abraham Lincoln lore. I agree with that 100%, and it completely fucked it up. Followed by Gimme Jasper in the Civil War and said, so that begs the question: Are we talking about Jasper from? Are we talking about Jasper from VTM?
If we are, I'm guessing we're talking about Jasper from, what is that, LA by Night?
Something like that.
Or, yeah, it's LA by Nights because his other character happens to be Macy from New York by Night.
I think this could have been handled a lot more appropriately. This could have been handled a lot more delicately. I I got nothing. Brains blank. So
Yeah.
let's go ahead and move on. What was your most hated scene?
Ah, the sun dying had no bearing on the movie. And in itself was only a way to just kind of put salt to an already open wound. The idea that he's fighting vampires while being president, and they go, "Well, he's untouchable." No, he isn't. Let me get his kid. And they didn't see it coming. Like, she watched that person walk by. She didn't ask questions. And then, of course, the whole drama with the wife, blaming uh Abraham Lincoln. I think the very ending, like when they were putting, like, they were melting down the silver, which I get, but at the same time, I'm going, it's the daylight. Why aren't they burning up?
I'm
I'm
glad.
just going. It just no.
I'm
I'm
glad
sorry,
somebody
this
else
movie.
noticed that. The daylight killed me. Like, they're out walking around in the day. Like, who the fuck wants to watch that? The sun's supposed to be one of their mortal enemies. What the shit, dude?
Yeah,
For me, I hate to say it, but my hated scene for this movie is anything that wasn't a fight scene.
I got what they were doing. Like, it again, it's like the point that they were trying to do. Here's what happened, and they just go trying to blow it on there. It's like, hey, my point. Did it hit? Can you smell it? No? Okay. No, it just did not. It does not. Like it could have been anybody. It really could have been just anybody else, and it'd probably be a better movie.
What was your favorite scene?
My favorite scene. I have a funny scene that made zero sense in context, which is when he walks in on him the first time he wakes up and is running down, about ready to save the girl, and only to find out that she don't need to be saved. I didn't see anything. And I think, a lot of the other parts, my favorite scene is when you finally, hold on, when you finally see him slaying vampires, when he goes for the banker, that junior guy, the very first one. The rest were all faceless and nameless. I didn't understand the whole attacking on horseback at all. That one just kind of was like, okay, this is over the top, and apparently they had money for this. Congratulations, and it sucked. When he's going after the very person that killed his mom, that felt so disingenuous. It really did. It felt so over the top, so cheesy. How? Like, what was his point? He was literally dancing around, like, you better get me before I get to her. And then when he finally does it, he's like, and dies. I mean, it really had zero. But like I said, the banker one, or the pharmacist, that's what it was. He was a pharmacist. Um, he actually felt real. Like it felt good. That very first one that you see him actually going in and actually winning, where he drops down into the sea from the floor into the basement, and that felt real. And I think that was my favorite. That one felt like I could feel the struggle. I could feel the tenseness, the fear that would be going through him. And that's the one point that I actually do grasp on and go, okay, I like this particular scene. The rest, just nameless, faceless at this point. Even with Adam, it was nameless, faceless.
For me, mm, I got two moments. The first, if I'm not mistaken, there was the silver tipped axe. I'm sorry. That silver tipped axe was a fucking badass looking axe. I don't care about the writers in this case. I don't care about the directors. I don't care about the way this movie was portrayed. That single prop. One second, my mic's peaking. That single prop for me was fucking gorgeous. If I want to rave about
Right.
anything, it's going to be that fucking axe. Because I'm not gonna lie, I kind of want one. Expensive as hell, but the second one was the final fight, specifically on the burning bridge. I'm sorry, but a train careening across a bridge that is like on fire and slowly collapsing, and you've got this epic fucking fight scene as this bridge is collapsing. Something like that's always gonna get me. It's action packed and it's like adrenaline pushing. I'm a bit of an adrenaline junkie. It is what it is.
Hmm.
It kind of gets the blood flowing. And then they jumped out of the train and landed on the fucking trestles. They landed
Hmm.
jumped off the train, landed on the trestles of the bridge, and they're trying to make their way kind of across as the bridge is burning. That was just probably the best moment in the movie, I think. Other than that, mm,
Yeah.
yeah,
There is something to say about the symbolism of that train, though. Total reflection of the entire movie.
yep, yep.
Just a burning train wreck you can't look away from.
And the fact that they had this massive fight on this train that's going across this burning bridge, you get to the end, he's like, "There's no silver on this train. Where is it?" Well, a great guy once told me, always have a contingency plan. Meanwhile, the other train's already arrived at camp. They're
Yeah.
unloading the silver and burning it. It's like, so the whole thing was a fucking distraction and didn't matter either way. Just like this fucking movie.
Yep, pretty much. That's exactly what it is. And unfortunately, as much as I see it for what it is, I got what they were going for. I got the. It was just so paper thin you could see right through it. That's the
The
problem with
message of
it.
the movie, like, the message of the movie itself was not lost. We got that loud and clear. Your delivery fucking sucked.
It was not good. As much as I like this, as much as I like watching, mindless, destruction and chaos,
There's a
have a better presentation to a point and be more elegant about it and less time consuming.
there are better ways to present that. All right.
Very.
So, let's get into ratings. Like I said, quick and dirty today.
Mhm.
Scale of 1 to 5. And I guess final thoughts. Where do you sit?
Yeah, 1.5, I'm sorry. This movie had not a whole lot of substance, not a whole lot to go off of, and clearly just was throw it to the wall to see if it sticks, and you could tell that's exactly what it was. Let's see if it sticks. And so they pump it out, and the actors agreed that they'd get paid for this movie. Other than that, I mean, it's a real unique take on vampirism and Civil War. It, I didn't see the Civil War much. I was like, if this was supposed to be a Civil War movie, where's the Civil War? And don't tell me it's all through the backbone of a strategy of a vampire slayer that should have had no business being in that position. But yeah, 1.5. I'm sorry, that's the cut and dry of it.
This is getting a 1.0 for me. I
Better than
take it.
some, but not
90% of the
so
movie
much better.
was unfortunately just crap.
Yeah,
It's the
it
fight
was
scenes
all.
that I live for, which is and the silver axe, which is why it gets the 1 star. Or sorry, it gets the rating of 1 for me. Other than that, you know what? There was one other moment that I did appreciate.
Mm,
Abraham Lincoln, when he sits down in the bar
mm.
and he's piss ass drunk, and fucking what's his name walks in, sits
Oh
down
yeah,
next to
yeah,
him.
yeah.
He's like, man only gets drunk, gets that drunk when he's either looking for something or when he's lost a girl. So which is it? And
When
you
he's
find the
when
gun dropped to
he's
the floor.
yeah. The thing about that really got me about that was that the line was a man only gets this drunk when he's gaining enough courage to kiss a girl or to kill somebody. So which one are you? Bump,
And then the gun drops to the
drop.
floor. And then at the end of the movie, that was the final closing scene. They mirrored that. I did appreciate
Yep.
that kind of history repeats itself. It moves in cycles, which I mean, we all know it does. We see it in action every day. Um,
Yeah.
Other than that, this movie gets a 1.0 for me. I've got nothing other than that good to say. It is interesting to see, however, I'm just looking at the IMDb here. It's got a 5.9 out of 10.
Hmm. I guess again, mixed bag. Some people liked it, some people hated it.
Most of the reviews are sitting around a 6.
They either didn't like it or they didn't like it enough.
Well,
It's an
on
okay movie.
it's a scale of 1 to 10, which means most of the reviewers found it more than passable, more than halfway passable, which is absolutely wild.
Considering how pedantic the actual writing is. Yeah, no, I don't understand where they're coming up with that then, because I didn't see it.
On top of that, there's 476 reviews.
Eh,
People really like the
Shows how
action.
much.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I get that. People like the action probably weren't caring so much. It's a movie, right? That's what they were there for.
We're also looking at this kind of critically, or we're looking at this from a with a critical eye. So, but yeah, just looking through here, like the first few reviews, it's 7, 7, 7, 6, 7. Yeah. Um. Final note: Marley said her favorite scene was the stagecoach scene. If you want to know more about that, you'll have to ask her. The average viewer doesn't really
Yeah.
care all that much about plot, at least from my experience. I mean, you're not wrong. Um, People don't really seem to be all that invested in storyline, which is wild. As much as I'm for aesthetics, I've said it before and I'll say it again, I'm the aesthetics person. As much as I'm for aesthetics, I do also like me
and
a
they
good
ne-
I do also like me a good story.
and unfortunately, aesthetics is good in this movie for what it's worth. Very Civil War era, but outside of that, there isn't much substance.
Yeah. It's not very civil. There's a bit of war, just not the civil war we were expecting.
I think I think one of my favorite lines actually comes from Adam, not anyone from Abraham or his friend, and it's all I want is for a place for my kind to be, which resonates a little bit, just a silver little bit, the idea of acceptance in the world.
Yep.
I think that's important. Problem is we all know that Adam's real purpose there was to to generate the antagonist, which is we're not just here to be accepted; we're here to rule, and that's exactly what they tried doing. So
Is that it for your
there it is.
final? That it for your final
Yeah.
thoughts?
Oh yeah.
Cool. Well, I guess on that note, we're gonna start wrapping up here. I said quick and dirty, not a long episode today. Next episode, we are season 3, episode 11, The Hunger. Let me go get you an IMDb rating on that. Give me 1 second.
That'd be an
This is an
interesting
artsy
one.
movie. It was made in 1983. It looks like it was made in 1980s. Just gonna throw that out there. The rating on this one is a 6.6. I'm gonna give you guys just a bit of. Oh shit! One of my old Facebook accounts was actually named after the main character of this movie. That's fascinating. Psyche is fascinating. Um, I'm going to give you guys just a brief overview. The Egyptian vampire lady Miriam subsists upon the blood of her lovers. In return, the guys or girls don't age until Miriam has had enough of them. Unfortunately, that's the current case with John, so his life expectancy is less than 24 hours. Desperately, he seeks help from the famous Dr. Sarah Roberts, played by one Susan Sarandon, and she doesn't really believe his story, but becomes curious and contacts Miriam, and then gets caught in her spell too.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of looking forward to this. So it is kind of an artsy movie, very much 80s. So if you like kind of the Lost Boys aesthetic, this almost has the same kind of style to it. And I can't wait to delve into this with you guys. But for this episode of Masquerade Breach, I'm Blazewing,
I'm Oceanus Veritas.
and we'll see you guys next episode. Remember, don't tell the Camarilla. Otherwise, they might give us another piece like this again.
Adam might come after us if we do.
I'm not complaining. We'll see you guys next episode. Bye bye.